I'm out here on the beach to go surf fishing today, and I want to test to see whether these HiSea insulated boots are better than just traditional plain rubber boots. I've got a couple tests I'm going to put them through. Let's see how it goes. When I go surf fishing, a lot of times I can just drive my 4x4 vehicle to the exact spot where I want to set up. But there are other good spots that don't permit off-road 4x4 access that I've got to hike into. And in the winter in particular, I'll wear these boots because it's impossible to go surf fishing and not get your feet wet. In addition, on a cold day, those feet can get cold. It makes sense. So anyway, HiSea sent me these boots to try out. They're much lighter than these, so I anticipate that I won't be as tired when I walk. And the other thing is that they look like they're going to be much more comfortable. They've got a neoprene top that's more flexible than the top on these rubber wellies. They're insulated and they have a air wick dry feature inside that is supposed to keep my feet much more comfortable and breathable. So I'm going to go ahead and put on one of each, and I'm going to go take about a half-mile hike and see how I feel when I get back. Here's a pro tip for wearing boots like this. Tuck your trousers into your socks, because then when you put them on, they will fit better and your trousers will not bunch up at the top. I'm ready to go. I got one of each on. Let's get on to the hike. Well, I'm back. It was a 1-mile hike. I'll show you where I went on my Angler app, and here's the results. Pretty interesting. The HiSea boot ended up being much more comfortable. Here's what happened. These are size 9, so you would think that those would be tight, because I bought a size 10 or European size 43 on the HiSea, but I felt my heel slipping with every step back here. In addition, I felt like there was more heat load on the inside with moisture building up here around my trousers. In addition, the top was not flexible at all, and I could feel that the top was starting to abrade against my shin. Now the HiSea has that air wicking. They felt very comfortable, and even though they were size 43 or size 10, my heel did not slip up and down in these at all. And this neoprene top was flexible enough to bend as I walk, and it didn't feel like it was uncomfortable at all. And the final interesting thing, given that today's a little bit chilly, is that these felt hotter, whereas these were much more comfortable, and I attribute that to that air wicking feature that they have. Well, let's go test the insulation next. I'm going to go down and I'm just going to stand in the water for about 5 minutes. I'll go ahead and fish so I don't look like an idiot doing that, and we'll come back up here and see which has the best insulation capability, because the water is a little bit chilly today. See, they're making a movie down over there. There go a bunch of motorcycle guys. They do a lot of movie making here in Wilmington. When you're fishing in the surf, you can't not get your feet wet. There'll be a fish you catch where you got to wade in at least a little bit to be able to get them up. You might lose the fish if you try and pull them up all the way onto the dry beach. So I will go stand in the water and see about this insulation. I thought that getting my trousers wet and getting a little bit of water into each of these boots was a negative in terms of this evaluation, but it turns out to be a positive, because what I discovered is that the water that got into the HiSea boot ended up warming up, I guess because of the neoprene top and the insulation in the boot, whereas the traditional rubber boot, everything just stayed cold. So I guess maybe that's the best confirmation that the insulation characteristics, easier to show you this one, the insulation characteristics of the HiSea boot are real. I mean, there's a real life example of it. So I think we can go ahead and wrap this up. Bottom line is, with the flexible neoprene top, the air wicking insulation, and I didn't mention it before, but my heel was hurting as I was walking in this because there's really no padding in one of these. Whereas with the HiSea boot, my stride was comfortable and my heel did not experience any discomfort. So I'm giving these things an unqualified thumbs up. I guess these go into the recycle bin or get donated someplace, but I'm done with them. I've got my new favorites right here. I'll have a link to these down in the description. If you guys have experience with the HiSea boot, hey, throw a comment down below and share it with the rest of us. Thanks.